Hey everybody, it's Cindy A. Lewis, and I am bringing to you a more than a wedding card gift idea. And I say, use what you have whenever you have to create something. So let your mind kind of go a little crazy. And I'm just using some pieces that I have to make a little wedding gift that will actually be like a card, and it's going to be for a friend of my son's. So let me show you what I'm using. I'm going to use a mason jar, and I had this already, but you can buy those at the Dollar Tree if you don't. I'm going to use some of this burlap ribbon, and it has lace on it and burlap, and you can buy that at the Dollar Tree as well. I'm going to use some twine or jute, and I just had this at my house, but you can also buy that at the Dollar Tree, or you can get it just about any craft store, or you can just buy it in the hardware section, I think. I am going to use some scrap paper that I had. Probably not that piece, but I was looking at the different pieces. These are embossed pieces of scrap that came in a scrap bag. And so I'm going to use some of those pieces, and I'll show you for that in a minute. I'm going to use some burlap letters that I had on hand. I believe that I picked these up at actually Walmart. And these are just the letters and alphabet in burlap. Then I'm going to use a couple of pieces of Velcro, and you'll see what that's for in a minute. I'm going to be using these warm white light set, and this is from the Dollar Tree at Christmas time, so I had that already in stock. And then some batteries that I already had. Going to be using 3 of these are skewers. These are wooden skewers, and the reason I want wood is to go with the theme. I had those already. And then I had these white flowers, and I really am wanting this baby's breath looking white flower. And then I had these other pieces, and I had this one white heart. So I think that will go with it really well. And then you will need, if you're going to use the flowers, you may need wire cutters, because those help to cut this stem. And you can get wire cutters at the Dollar Tree. Now, I plan to use one of the cards off of this piece of paper. I'm leaning towards this Believe in Love journaling card. And then I also love these too, so I'll decide. And then I have this beautiful piece of roses, this floral print that is gray and has this timely look to it. I really, really like that. And it just has a pink background, which I don't really care for that much. So I'm going to use this to actually make the card, and I'm going to adhere this to it. And I'm going to use one sticker that I had. It has this typewriter, and it says always and forever, and maybe those flowers, but we'll see. Now, where did that come from? That came from this set that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. I showed you on clearance for $2.24, and it has a number of papers and stickers. It has these rhinestones and pearls, which I may grab those pearls. It had some other stickers too. And then where did I get this paper? It is from this Be Mine set that I picked up at Tuesday morning sometime back. It has stickers and papers, and they're really, really beautiful. And so let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is cover the center of my jar, my mason jar, with this ribbon. Now, one thing that I want to do is create a pocket with my ribbon so that I can slip this light battery pack in the back of it, and it will hold it together. So I need to measure enough around to make sure that I have extra in order to create that pocket. So I'm going to have to play with that a bit. Okay, so I measured my ribbon, and the ribbon needs to make enough room for the light pack to stay in there. And how I'm going to adhere the light pack to the ribbon is I'm going to put a piece of Velcro on the pack and a piece on the ribbon, and that'll hold it in place. And then if they need to remove it, then they can just pull that part off. So I'm going to use small pieces. I'm going to cut this in half, and that way it can adhere. So just cut this in half like this. Now, one thing about Velcro, when you adhere it, it's easier if you leave it stuck together than trying to match it up. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is glue down this ribbon halfway down the middle of the jar. So I'm just going to use some hot glue to attach it. And I'm going to do that on the front as well, so that it will hold it in place nicely, because the light pack battery, the battery will be a little bit heavy. Okay, so then I'm going to put a little bit here and here so that it will hold it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue here as well for the other piece that's coming around. All right. Now, I'm going to see if I measured correctly, and it's just perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and put my Velcro on here, and I'm going to put it on the side that you open the battery pack. So I want to put it on that side. Okay, so got my Velcro on there, and I'm ready to stick it onto my lace, my ribbon with my burlap, and I'm just going to do this. And then, as you can see, we're going to pull this down here, and we're going to take the other piece and stick it under here so that it can easily be removed, but yet it hides the battery pack. Okay, so I did put a little bit of glue in between here where the edge is turned so that it will stay. So you can see how I have my Velcro here, and I can just open it, and then I can change the batteries on the lights, but yet it kind of hides it. And then we'll have some things. Okay, so I measured, and I like one of each, and I just bent these because it'll help them stand. And so what I'm going to do is mix them together so they intertwine a little bit. And then I'm going to take this heart and put it right in the center, and I'm going to tie it with some of the jute, because the twine, I want it to stay together when I put it in the jar, and kind of cover that up a little bit. So I'm tying the jute around the bottom, and I'm going to glue that together. And then I'm going to put a bow with the jute. And I'm just going to get some help here so my fingers don't burn from this. All right, so you can see I just wrapped the jute around, and then I can still move the flowers around as I need to. And this is going to stand like this in the jar. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is glue some of the jute around the lid like this. So I'm going to do that, and you don't have to put glue all the way around, just put a little bit as needed, because as you pull it around, it will hold together. Now I don't want to get this wire wrapped into that, so I want to be careful to feed it through. And I can also just easily remove that and make it easier on myself as well. Okay, so I tied my jute here. I tied a cute little bow, really simple. So what I want to do is I'm making the card now. And so basically I want to take these letters and I want to cut a box around it so that the K has a box, and then and then the Z, and then I want to take the back part and cover up this stick so that you can't see it. Okay, so this is what I've decided to do. I trimmed around the letter. I really like that much better. Then I cut a piece of scrap and I cut it a little bit bigger than the back of the letter. So I'm going to glue my skewer on here and let that set. And then I'm going to glue this back on here. And after I get it on, then I'm going to trim it because I want a little extra just in case I need it. Okay, so now we have the Z, and you can see how I put the backing on this to cover the skewer. Okay, my goodness, my brain does not stop thinking. So I cut a piece and I thought, well, I can just mat this and it looks really, really beautiful. And then I thought, well, why not make it a pocket? And then this can be coming out of it and he can say to and happy wedding or whatever it is he wants to say. So I'm going to do that, and it only has to be, the depth only has to be to here, really, you know, where Believe in Love sticks out. So let's see, so about right here. See how I'm measuring, like really, I'm measuring this so precisely. And you can score this, but then I'm going to use double stick tape to tape the sides. Okay, you know me, I just can't stop. So I put the lace on, I decided to cover up the pink, it just didn't go. And put the card in there, and then I've got this little cake. It looks like a wedding cake on a bulb pin, and I'm just going to put it through here and secure it, latch it. I know it's hard to see with my fingers. And so there we go, and the little cake will hang right there. And then this is going to go in here in the back. So I'm going to put it on the skewer, and then we'll be done. We'll be done with the whole thing, and it turned out so cute. And it's so simple, and it's really not like supposed to be the all in all of wedding gifts, but it's a card, and it's just more than a card. It's a little fancy card. So anyway, I think they'll like it, and let me finish it up for you. Okay, so before I totally secure the whole thing and end the video, I am putting this little piece of half of a ball of styrofoam in the bottom, and I'm going to put this white flowers all around it, so hopefully you won't be noticeable, and I'll show you what that looks like. Sorry about the background. Here's my workbench, but you can see the styrofoam is in there, and you can't really see it with the lights, and it turned out so cute. We still have our card, our letters, and our beautiful more than a card wedding card. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is the second ending, but I just had to change it up just a little bit. It's a work in progress. So anyway, I hope you like this video, and until next time, bye.